are going to do the Martin Luther King Junior Day event, we might wanna meet before it.
Yes, that's my proposal,
Oh, okay.
like what time does
No.
that thing begin?
I think what he's meaning to make sure we have it planned for the event, right, Jason?
Yeah,
So like the 10th maybe?
Possibly, if we're able to. Cause then we'd still be able to meet here.
yeah,
Is that something that the group would be open to? I know you're trying to keep it the same week, you know what I mean?
Yeah. yeah, what I don't wanna get into people's schedules, and I have a tight schedule.
It's still a couple months from now though. I'm
Yeah,
hoping on the 10th as of now.
yeah, we can look it for that.
If we have issues, we can,
Yeah,
as we get closer.
We
Yeah.
can set the schedule now, because we'll set the schedule prior to January 1st. And if we need to cancel that, it'll be called a special meeting because it won't be on that scheduled day.
Okay.
That's always a possibility too. So it would be January 10th, and then you could either keep the February one, the 28th, or you could change it to the 14th.
Should we just move both of them up a week? Or no? That's,
Does anyone have some insane thing that they do something on Valentine's Day? I don't know.
oh, true, that makes it Valentine's evening, I don't wanna get in on any
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, that would
That would be the last thing we did. And then Jason made us all be. Could we have that meeting at the library? Or is everything closed that day too?
I don't think you would have support staff there,
Oh, okay.
so it'd be just you guys meeting.
Should we do it the week after then?
The 28th.
I'm open the 28th.
yeah, that's fine.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, yeah, so just Whitney, the month before these two changes, just always remind us.
Yep, and I'll put it, it's always on the agenda,
Yeah,
but for the minutes, the next meeting will be held this date.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't change.
So I think we need a motion. For those
Can I
two
get
days.
a motion for those 2 days?
Make a motion to change the January date to the 10th and the February date to the 28th.
Is there a second?
Second. Do you agree?
Yeah, Bessie. All those in favor? Those opposed, motion carried. The next item is A, Diversity University. Any update there?
Well, since Manisha is not here, I guess I will speak for her. Because she had planned to work with the public schools on the cooking demonstration, I guess.
Yep.
She let us know that tonight was actually gonna be her last meeting. She's moving. And so, yep, and on that note, I will let you know that Annette also put her notice in because she has something that's come up on Monday evenings that she can't avoid.
Okay.
So that being said, we have 4 applicants from the pool that we just did. We were gonna get the mayor those applicants and ask him to review them prior to the next meeting. So hopefully we can get somebody in for the next meeting
So Annette is done and
and Manisha.
Manisha.
And then Carissa is up in February. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
anyway.
it's
I
probably,
mean, like,
It's January, pardon me,
huh?
it's
No,
January.
it's February.
Well, January 31st, so she'll attend the January meeting, but then February,
So we
so,
have 2 up now and then 2 up later.
And who's up later?
It was Krista and
Colin?
Yep.
And have you heard from Colin whether he's,
I haven't heard from him today, no. I think he expressed interest on reapplying, so
I thought he didn't. I thought he didn't want.
He had asked how to, so I don't know if that shows interest or not, but he was wondering how to go about it.
Yeah, I'm just you know, cause with all these events, you know, with all this turnover, I'm concerned. You know, even for the January 20, whatever it is. Maybe Whitney and other business, we can discuss those resignations further, but thanks for bringing it up now, cause it kind of helps with the events. Stuff, I did not know that was coming.
no, it was kind of a shocker. But life happens, especially after this past year, 2 years. I can't believe it's 2 years already, but I'm hoping 2023, or 2022.
So to approve, whoever he decides, the mayor decides, they have to be on the consent agenda for the next city commission meeting, correct?
Yep,
And when's the next city commission meeting?
it is,
What has it been this month? So it's December?
no, the agenda has to go out, or is getting ready tomorrow. So they would probably go on the first meeting in December, so then they could attend the December meeting.
If they're available, whoever they are.
Yeah.
So it'll just be 2 now. And the other 2 the next month, is that what it would be?
For February.
Nothing like trial by fire. We'll throw them in.
Let's go. We're good, we're all new blood.
Well, you guys can set high expectations, say, hey, this is what we do, no, no options, and there you go.
Oh, when would those have to be on to replace Krista and Colleen? Let's say they don't run, when is the last possible date they have to be on the city commission agenda?
It would have to be on the second meeting in January. For February 1st, or for the February meeting, because technically Krista and Polly are still on the committee through January 31st. So usually we had talked about advertising in December
Okay, good.
for those positions. And we had a pretty good turnout the last run, so I'm hoping
And
they are still interested.
you'll put it on the City of Bismarck page, right, so we can share it?
I'll, as soon as we get the news release, it'll go to all like the media, and then they put it on Facebook and the city website. So,
Good, because I want to get out to like New Americans and different organizations, so get some good representation.
Meeting with Julie from Global Neighbors this week,
Oh,
so I can say
perfect.
something to her.
Yep.
On Friday, meeting with her, so I'll say something.
Oh, they did hire somebody new for. I told her
Julie.
that.
Almost something, I don't know, I get to meet her for the first time, dropping off some donations.
So can I just touch on Diversity University then? Yeah, was there any planning underway with Manisha and Legacy?
I don't believe so. I think we had mentioned it, but she was supposed to update us at this meeting and
Okay,
instead she submitted the resignation, so.
at this point, we are way behind. And they had already talked about not possibly doing it this coming season because of COVID.
Yep.
So it would be just jumping in and trying to get ahead of planning and maybe come up with some idea with a teacher so that we could roll it out really easy once COVID restrictions are up. Is that right?
Yep, she had talked about possibly doing it again in spring, but it wasn't a for sure thing. The biggest problem with them is they have to purchase all the food in advance.
Yep.
And if the event gets canceled at the last minute, then they're out that money. So they didn't want to, she didn't even want to attempt it now especially when we had talked to her about it, the COVID numbers were going up.
Yep.
And so, and I guess, you know, sitting close in a eating setting, it's probably not the best idea. Something, I would recommend reaching out to the community now,
Mhm.
say, hey, this is what we're hoping for next fall. Because even with this year, we didn't have anybody lined up.
Yeah.
So put the feelers out there now, like with Global Neighbors, if there's anybody that be interested.
You're talking like someone to lead the class
Yep,
of whatever ethnicity
yes.
they are.
So yeah,
And we've never done an indigenous meal or
Yeah.
anything, have we?
We talked about that last
Okay.
time. Too, and Sassy wasn't here to see if that would maybe be something, if you know someone that has that, because they've never done that ethnicity before.
Right.
Since you're talking the school system, maybe you know a teacher that would work with us. It was Kim, is that her name? Kim at Legacy, Kim Hertz?
yes.
I remember right? At Legacy, who they went through in the past with this.
And she said if Legacy can't do it, the culinary program is the same throughout the high schools, so that it can happen at any of the high schools. So if it doesn't work at Legacy, then one of the other programs might be able to pull it in too.
Absolutely.
I think we should just put it on hold. Cause with Manisha, right now, I can't take anything on.
I think we should put on hold, but I know in the past, the issue was we put things on hold, well, we would. Or we'll put things on hold and then we want to move forward with it, so I think we still should reach out to the people that we know that may be able to tie with them to make this happen as of early next year. Cause it's usually a fall event, so now we have almost a year to kind of work this out.
We want. Okay, so here where we run into it, do we want to table it for a month or two, or does that take it off of our agenda and it gets forgotten about? You know, or do we keep it on the agenda for a report every month?
We could say a specific time, like, I've done it before, 6 months. You know, put it back on and,
As far as the agenda goes, I will leave it, because the diversity university is part of the goals.
Yeah.
And so we can just put there's nothing to report at this time, going forward, just so it doesn't come off the agenda.
Yeah.
So it stays in the back of your mind, but then if there's nothing to discuss until spring, when we need to reach out to the school again, then that works too.
okay, and then the municipal equality index rating.
All right, hi, everybody. Darcy, can you hear us online?
Oh, she's muted.
I can.
Okay, good. Otherwise I'll be yelling. Okay. So for the MEI, we're moving along. I meet tomorrow with Jason and then with, oh gosh, what's her name from the library?
Renee and Christine.
Renee from Public Health and Christine from the Public Library to kind of tighten up where we're at and what the city has to present to the national HRC to see if we're meeting any of the municipal equality index goals. I also was in touch with the downtowners and just seeing, because there's a corporate equality index. Once we complete the MEI with the city, they'd like to be connected to try and make businesses in the city more diverse and welcoming to the nation, to start bringing more diversity to the city again. And so it's just chugging along, I guess I would say. We have until next June to get everything in line for the next scores. We'd like to get it finished up by the beginning of the year. We need some traction on what, for the end of the year, the annual report, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm hoping is to meet with them tomorrow and then to talk with HRC to see where we're at and if they can give us an outline with what we have, where it would raise our score to right now, if that makes any sense. So you can see that traction going forward for the annual report. Because I think it would be good. We have a 2-year plan But it would be good to show some movement or where we're at with this by the annual report for the city commission.
And that brings up another point for me, Jason as well, when is that annual report revert? And then,
You just have to get on the city commission, but usually it's like February, I think you said.
Yeah, we usually shoot for the end of January to the end of February, depending on schedule. So whichever works for you.
Or, I mean, the things that we have that we can highlight are humanitarian of the year, the 2 awards, the pride event that we had, and then the MEI index.
Yep.
Are the 3 things that we can.
and I will try to be there when we get put on, just for support.
We have pictures from those other 2 events, and then we just kind of have to decide what we want to do as far as pictures or graphics from.
I think we should be able to show what the score was walking into this, because I think it was in the 30s, and then within a short time, it pulled up to like 60s.
Okay.
And so being able to show that quick movement, would be good. And so we can do graphics, we can just get those PDFs in, and then hopefully get like a PDF layout of where our scores are going for the next year, something along those lines with the work that we put in.
Last year was late, because it was right when I started. I think they were doing it the next month.
And Sassy said, this MEI is a municipal equality index, and it's, do you know about it?
No, I'm just briefly talking about it.
It's a rating by the National Human Rights Commission. And they rate cities on how welcoming they are to diversity within the LGBTQ+ community. And every city is rated, whether they put out if they want a rating. I got you. And at the time that it was brought to our attention, we were at like a 30s, and then got up 100, and we got some movement right away. Sorry. Into like the 60s. Are you good? You put it on? Okay. And so we're hoping that with just some small adjustments from departments within the city of things that we already are doing, but focus it more and make it more evident, not just, well, we take care of everyone, because that's what we get a lot. Is that where we try and reach out to communities that are underserved. And so by doing that, we're hoping to get our score up, or at least above the 70s. I say we're gonna get it to 100, but we'll be. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So do we have a school for years? Did we start an hour?
No,
So we were at a 63 last year.
okay.
I don't have what it was the year.
We should be able, I think already with what we had looked at, there were numbers that would pull us up into the mid to high 70s already. And that's without getting any movement, just under reporting to the national agency. No, we did not come up with goals. We literally didn't think we would be making traction at all. And so this is all about what we had expected. We put it to the city commission and it was approved to go ahead with working on this with all the city departments. So caught off guard, I'm saying 10 points a year. That sounds big.
What's our goal?
Dang, that's a lot of movement,
Yeah. So 63, that gives us next year, we gotta be above 73. And I'm okay with that. So I think we can already do that and exceed it. So it's a lot. And what we had hoped is that we can use this as a layout to address other underserved populations within the community and how to address all of them. So this was kind of like, it was brought to us by the National HRC, but we're taking it on as a Bismarck HRC to utilize it as a platform, take care of other populations within the city also. So, and then also share it with other HRCs across the state so that they can start utilizing it to work with their city administration and departments and commissions to start moving the bar in our state. So,
Only two other HRCs in the state,
Yeah.
Fargo and Minot,
oh, I don't even know what Minot does.
but it was from Minot.
Now you have me questioning myself.
And I don't know if it's Human Relations Committee.
Oh,
I think like Fargo has a Human Rights Committee.
Yep.
So it's a little
They
bit.
do have a human.
Do they? I know we've kind of looked into it before to see how they structure themselves, yeah.
I think they can give recommendations, whereas we're just advisory.
Could we ever give a recommendation or?
That's our end goal.
Yeah, I think
So we
that has to change the ordinance.
Mhm.
Right now, with the city ordinance that created the committee, it's just an advisory position.
And that is one of the points on the MEI, is that your HRC can actually give recommendations and not an advisory. And so that's ultimately kind of our last push.
Which you guys right now can make a recommendation to the commission,
Mhm.
but
there's-
they have the ultimate vote.
So then what's the difference there between advisory and the recommendation?
We can't guide policy by our vote as a committee, if that makes sense. We can just advise on where we see the city should go. They don't have to listen to us. If that makes sense. There's no chutzpah behind what we say.
That's fun. But in a minute. I want to change that. That's fun.
That was all I had, unless any have questions.
Okay, then I'm gonna go to C, student liaison, and I know Manisha was working on that as well.
Well, that originally started with Manisha, with going into the schools and having, students come to our meetings. But for right now, it's kind of turned into our logo project, which the pictures you guys have now.
No,
Darcy, do you have the pictures handy as well? Yeah.
Something.
Got them.
So these are the images, and I'm horrible with names, so I cannot remember the students' names, but after Jason and I met with the students, we kind of gave them your feedback, and this is what they came up with. Not to put any pressure on you guys, but it's probably best to make a decision sooner rather than later if we want to order merchandise prior
For the
to,
end of the year.
because we have to have it received in our office before December 31st, or it goes into next year's budget. And it'd be kind of sad to see you lose that budget
Right,
and have to use it next year.
so I
The only comment that I'm gonna make is that if you're gonna use the abbreviation, a lot of people are not gonna know what you're talking about.
if we just used like BHRC,
No,
And that was kind of my thought to Jason too, was we
Topic one.
There's so many.
so,
we're trying to rebrand. The last logo, nothing was ever saved. And so the only picture or anything we have of it is difficult to do anything with. And so we were hoping to try and rebrand before the end of the year, partnering with students to come up with a new logo so that we could start doing like banners, stickers, even ordering stuff for next year, to try and start
Flyers.
rebranding, flyers, yep.
I know we discussed this, I know some of these are colored and some of them aren't, and I know we had a discussion last time. I really think that we should do a colored one, because that shows more of the LGBTQ community, where the other one really wouldn't. So, because we have people of all different, like, ability levels in them, like someone in a wheelchair or whatever, but we don't really have, the LGBTQ community focused on, so I would think we should go with a colored one.
So here's, for like the colors, if you guys like certain shading, because I think the colors she picked different ways to do them. So if you have a certain one of those that you like most, but then have the picture itself from the two black and whites, they could do it in color. The black and white is nice just to have, like I ordered pens for our Citizen Academy.
Mhm.
They could only do it in one color.
Yep.
So some of your merchandise that you guys are gonna pick for your educational purposes or whatever might not be able to be in color. And so having that black or white option is, I wouldn't want to say let's not do a black and white option, just because then it may limit you as what you guys can do for your.
Can we pick both?
Oh, good. So my question with like the multicolored ones, is it where we can have the Bismarck Human Relations Committee around it also? Okay, so in my mind, I would go with either 2 or 4 and then probably 20, 13 or 20. I like 20 more because it's just the black and white instead of the reverse. It's easier to do print and whatnot with that, isn't it? Okay,
Those are the old ones I think, so.
oh, nice,
I
I'm
like
gonna say, I
four.
picked.
I like 4 because it's so bright.
yeah.
I like 20 as far as the, I like that font too.
Yeah, it's bigger, it's a little easier to read.
I think
What do
it's
you have
easier on
thoughts on
paper.
I'm not good at that picking one, so
Okay.
whatever you guys want.
I think I look 13 and 20 are very similar. It's just like the reverse of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd be okay with those. I like 4 as far as the colored one though.
So if you can get a majority of you and vote on,
Can I get a motion, please?
Darcy, okay with that?
Can I ask one question? Is there any way, I just would like to ask your opinion, do you feel that these representations bring in any kind of indigenous representation?
Circle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering, because I want to make sure that we're covering our bases. Okay, not
Being inclusive in
covered. Thank
representation.
you. Yes.
Darcy, did you have a favorite?
I'm kind of pretty much with the group right now.
With the group.
Perfect.
Could I get a motion, Jason?
Okay, I make a motion that we go with 4 and 20. Are you all okay? You know what, I'm just gonna run with it, and if we don't want it, we can vote it down. So,
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Jason, second by Sassy. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Perfect. So
Those opposed, motion carried.
I will report this back to Jason. And then is there things that you guys wanted to purchase with?
yes, I would like to make a motion that we order what do banners run roughly? We had like 1,500 left, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. If the banner is 1,200 or less, I would make a motion that we order a banner multicolored with the Bismarck Human Relations Committee going around it. And then I would also, along with that order, go back to Dakota Screen Arts and just reorder what we had previously ordered with the new logo.
So are we doing, what kind of banner are we doing? Is it like the long one or are we doing a pull-up one?
I would probably have to get,
I think it would be the long one because we want to be able to carry it in parades or events as well as put it on our table.
and that's what the last one was.
Oh, shoot.
The printer, I got mine through the printers and they have like little one stand ones, so you don't have to take the big banner. And that was like $100 and some, but it's like this big. And I'm sure Dakota Screen Arts or wherever we order through would be probably about the same price, but those are much easier, so you don't have to always take the big banner, but I mean, if we're always wanting to take the big one, it's fine too.
In most places you go, there's like a table set up for you, so you're capable of having the full banner, but I can do a price check on.
Or even one of the pop-up ones that stand
The big pop-up
next
ones,
to it.
Okay.
And then we want pictures of all of us on that banner.
You guys have to. You have to take pictures, so we can have them for those.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just had to. Okay,
We'll all be standing in a circle.
so that motion is out there, added with the checking on a second smaller banners. And that's all relevant on the cost, if it fits into the budget. Whatever doesn't fit into the budget, we leave up to administration to adjust. That's a really long motion.
Is there a second?
Okay, whatever, do it.
Do you want me to shorten the motion, Whitney?
I've kind of paraphrased it as you go along, so yeah.
Okay. This is a bad day for this song.
It's been a Monday all around, I think, so. All right, well, I got that. Do we
Any
have a
further
second?
discussion?
I second it.
You second, okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carried.
Is there any way we can get a picture of the students, like in the annual report,
Yes,
the students that have done the logos?
that would be awesome.
If I need to go there, I'll even go there and take it, or whatever works the best. If the teacher wants to take it, it just.
Or
even
bring
give it
them
on
to the
photos.
next,
Or if they
invite
go-
them to the next meeting.
Well, we invited them to this meeting, but they've got Jason goes, they're high school students, they're involved in a lot of things right
Okay.
now, so they had stuff going on.
Okay.
Jason said, hey, you're welcome to come, the committee had really good feedback and, he sang the praises of them, relayed the message that you guys were really happy with what they came up with, and, I think she was really excited. And so,
They're at Legacy.
The Career Academy.
The Career Academy.
Yep.
Okay. I can always run over there too.
okay,
Oh, nice,
I actually have a photography side business.
Oh,
nice.
please, you can take all our pictures. Was I not have-
Can we make sure that the font is the same on 4 multicolored as it is on 20? Does that make sense?
yes.
Okay.
So what I was planning on saying, because I think 13 and 20 are the same. So I was gonna say, give us those options or that picture in the colored option.
Okay.
And then we'll have all 3 that we can use.
Cool.
The only thing I noticed a little bit about, what's throwing me off now, the 13 to 20, I like how it's written on 13 rather than 20, because it looks like it's strange where it starts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you like the at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so, I'll just say 20, but do it black and white, not color.
13.
Do you like 13 better?
I like the writing on 13, how it's spaced out.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
These students are gonna be like, gosh, they are sure demanding.
Better get used to it, graphic design.
Can you turn these?
Yes.
participate in community events. Anything that,
Hi, everybody.
Jason here.
So the Martin Luther King Day celebration, I reached out to Bill Patry. Does that sound right? Patry, I think it's Patry. He is the chairman of the Martin Luther King Holiday Commission, has been for the last 10 years. They would love to pair up with us in whatever capacity we see fit. A theme that they hope they can continue to develop is the legacy of Native Americans in Bismarck and North Dakota, along with the participation of North Dakotans in the civil rights movement. And so furthering this, the last few years, they've had choirs, they've had speakers, they've had New Americans, they had Indigenous representation. I'm trying to think, 3 years ago. They've had a variety of speakers and everything. I believe they're getting tired. They've all been doing this a long time. And so they would love any kind of like influx of support. He said, I'm so excited. Would you be interested in taking over as chair? And I just said, how about we start with coffee? And so I think they're ready. This started as a state-ran organization. It was put together by, I don't know.
I remember the
Yeah,
name.
it was put together by a governor, and then it was disbanded by one of our governors in the last few cycles. At that point, it became a 501c3 because they wanted to continue it. They've had it every year at Trinity since I moved back in 2016. I know that it's been at like the Heritage Center and other places before. There are a few North Dakota citizens who are still with us who marched in the civil rights. There's also Lutheran League, I don't know. Different organizations who were involved throughout the years. And so I believe it would be good for us to invite Bill to sit down with us next month if we would be able to see what exactly they're looking for and what we could do to help support that. I don't know if we're able to give donations as well as help, or I don't know what they're exactly looking for. But like I said, I think it would be good. We're all about creating diversity and meaningful and visible strategies. And so helping support an organization that's been very kind of standalone as a nonprofit.
I think we're allowed to give donations, but it has to be approved by city commission.
Is the 501c3 basically just based on this one event?
Yeah, this is it. They have the 501c3 and they do this one event a year. And so,
So I'd be interested for him to find out how they do get their donations. Maybe Trinity donates their facility.
right,
I mean, and maybe the speakers donate their time, so it's not a lot of cost at all.
right.
I don't really know that. When is this event? Is it on Martin Luther King Day?
Oh gosh.
Do you mind forwarding me that email so I have his name and stuff for the minutes?
Yes. I believe. I did. I know Paul Zondo is involved with it because he responded also. I believe it's like the Saturday before Martin Luther King Day, either Saturday or Sunday. Or maybe it is the actual night of it, because it's in the evening. I'll find out. I go every year. This is sad. This is why I need to pull back to what I do. Um, January 15th, Monday, yeah, it looks like they've had it on Mondays in the evening. There's a community choir that usually performs that people can be a part of. The Luther League Convention is used to be a part of it. There's memorabilia, Bismarck Minute Civic Chorus, readings, yeah. So that's all I have for that.
Does that conflict with the? Okay,
Other events the 24th.
okay,
What other event?
With the library.
January 24th, that is
The
the,
24th, am I right?
I get a look, please.
yeah, right,
Yeah, January 24th, families around the world.
that's right, thank you, oh God. We're gonna have a busy January.
So Jan-
And that's one thing I'm gonna, if we can move to other business, that's something I'm gonna bring up here. And there's a couple things I want to bring up too. I think that,
I was waiting for a question about this. So if we all decide to go to that event, that's considered a meeting, right? And we have to put that we're gonna be there, or how does that work? If more of us than 5 are there?
right.
Well, the same thing with the families event.
Yeah, we'll
correct?
just notice it that you are going to be there, but you won't be conducting business. So that's really not a big deal. I just push a notice out.
The MLK event is usually at 7 PM, so that would be on January 17th at 7 PM. If we decide to participate, and that's still up in the air. And then the next week on the 24th, the Families Around the World is at 5. I'm gonna put 5, then I'll be there, I'll
6:30
6:30,
is what I have.
sounds awesome.
You can go at 5 if you want though.
I'll be there at 6, just so I know what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing else for MLK Day.
and then other business. I was just gonna bring up, just talk about those resignations. You think, Whitney, we should have some members by next meeting, you're thinking?
As long as they accept from the pool that we have, yeah, I don't see that being a problem.
And we're allowed to accept from the pool?
Trevor,
Who else do you have, Whitney?
I would have to go back and look. I think we had 4 total, so we have 3 to choose from, or there were 5 and we have 4 to choose from. So I would have to look at that.
Do you know their names?
I do not. Not off the top of my head.
We'll need a list. And
And
then you are gonna reopen for the next round, right?
Yep, and then in December, we will open for the terms that are up.
So, yeah, but just so everybody knows, I think we gotta be really careful on what events we take on, just because of all the people coming on. I don't wanna commit to things and then back out, so I would just forewarn everybody that it's good to be in events, but I would be cautious too as well. If you know what I mean, Jason, and, we gotta do people, it's not saying that we can't, it's just, I don't know what their schedules, I don't even know who they'll be,
Right.
you'll be surprised, Trevor.
yeah.
I think it'll be good. We haven't done any events yet, and I know somehow they're all kind of coming to head in January. But I think if we get these events planned in a healthy way, these people coming in, we can just let them know this is our plan going forward. you know?
Yeah,
And it worked out really well when we did the event this summer.
Mhm.
I think how we did it worked out well.
That was the prize at the Capitol.
Yeah,
Hotter than heck, but.
but it was hot.
I'll let you guys know when that application comes in again, and then they have an online option, so I don't have to submit the paper one, but
Yeah.
keep that in mind as who wants to be the contact for that. For next year.
Starting off.
Fun. Can I ask a quick question about this Families Around the World event? Do we have any idea, I don't know if I asked this last time or not, how many people they expect to be there?
I don't, I can ask.
Because we're supposed to be doing, activity with it, that's why I was asking.
Oh, yeah.
I would just estimate 60
I would think that might be. low.
60 to 100.
And let's do stick.
I think it's like an activity, like a kid's activity. For the kids' activity you have to do,
And it needs to incorporate. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
I have, if we would wanna do, which I don't know, rock painting, I have a bunch of rocks that I would donate with the paint markers, and we're not even using regular paint, it's just paint markers, so they're not messy. If we'd wanna do that, we just would have to clean the rocks since they're like from like a landscaping place. Clean them beforehand is the only thing we'd have to do, but I'm trying to get rid of the rocks, so.
That's a really good idea.
It's a great idea, I'm not gonna donate it to someone else, but yeah. And then also the other question I think we had is if they would supply the table if we had to bring our own.
They'll have the table,
Okay,
and sister Hannah said she would let me know closer to the event, like more of the details, but it sounds like, they'll have the table, there's no admission, there's no like booth fee, like some of the other, or vendor fee, like some of the other ones.
and we don't need like you guys don't think we need a sign up genius, we just need it the whole time, it's only 2 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we just asking the group to be there.
Yeah,
I'll work on the swag and
so we're gonna do new flyers then, or just use up our old ones? Or brochures, I guess. Do we have a ton still? Cause we can use old ones if we have tons, not a huge deal.
yeah, we do. We'll need to update them with the new members and things like that too. So, I'll work on,
Maybe just start with new brochures with the new logo.
yes. And then,
But not a lot, because we're adding another 2 members
Yep, and-
within a few months.
so I could maybe do 100, and then if you run out of those, then you can use the other ones as a backup or whatever.
Okay. I hate
Do you need a pen?
that.
Pens might be a good idea for next time. So Jane can have one.
I need to put it here to reach out to Bill.
Do you have anything else for new business, Trevor? Or other business?
I was just gonna bring up, I like having the virtual option, but, I think it's good to relook at that again sometime. Soon I like having it, but I know sometimes it's difficult over talking if we can want people on there, so. Just, that's all I have.
Do we have to like elect new officers at all then?
Yes.
In January?
Yep.
Is that how that works?
So keep that in mind if, anybody's interested in taking on the leadership role, or Trevor and Darcy, if you want to keep it, we'll have that discussion at the end of January.
And I will keep it, where I'm planning to. It's no big deal.
There's no terms as far as that goes?
No, we'll do a yearly
Okay,
election.
look at it, okay.
If there's no other business, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. We'll have a meeting again on December 20th at 12:15.
Thanks, Trevor.
Hey Ruben, I'm at the county building. You better come.
Thanks, Darcy.
Okay, you wanna take your bag out?
Where are you going now?
Moses.